Hi, my name's Barry Haggarty. I'm a local musician. I have a recording studio here called Haggarty Sound Studio that has been in operation for a few good years. Produce a certain number of artists throughout the years also. Starting to promote my new project called Consider Me Undecided. I got into music, it's been quite a few years now. I bet you I was 10 or 12 where I started to take music lessons. And I remember my parents started me on an accordion. That didn't feel quite right to me, so I wanted to play guitar. So we did that. I started to take lessons. And at that young age, I could pretty much tell that music was going to be it. And even during my school days, I remember the music had taken over at that point. I remember my mom used to work at Simpson Sears years ago. And she'd go one way to Sears, I'd go one way to Kenner. When she was out of sight, I came back, turned the tape recorder on, and started recording my music. And I would have been like 16, 17 at that point. So the passion started then and is stronger than ever today. Basically, it got me inspiration. It can change from day to day because I know there's times where you don't feel any kind of inspiration. It's just not that day that it's going to happen. And other days I'll pick up the guitar, I could play a lick or riff, and that'll spur on a musical idea. And there's other times where I would be, could be sitting in a chair, not sleeping at night, come up with a line. That could be a great title for a song, or it could be a great line in a song. So it comes at different times. There's no formula to it. You just grab it when it comes. My new project is called Consider Me Undecided. Now, the reason I named it that is because there's 13 songs, and they're all different styles. There's actually some rock tunes on it. There are one classical kind of style of tune. There is what I call cinematic rock, songs that might be good for movies or TV. There are some vocal tunes, I think 4 or 5 of those. And the new single is actually one of those. It's called Moments, and it was written by myself and a gentleman named Cyril Rawson. So it has a nice sentiment to it. It's about love, but in a really different kind of way. So it's just out on the airwaves now. It's starting to pick up some radio airplay. So things are starting out really nicely with it. During that whole shutdown, I managed to finish my album, the Consider Me Undecided album. I actually made time for myself to go into the studio. Okay, I'm going to slot myself in. I had all these tidbits of music and lyrics hanging around, and I thought it's time to look after me a little bit. You spend a lot of time, working with other artists, which is, I absolutely love it, but I kind of put myself on the back burner a little bit. So the one thing about COVID is it gave me a chance to kind of take care of myself a little bit and get my project finished. So that was the only good thing about it. I'd give my eye teeth right now to do the worst gig I've ever done in my life because I want to get out and play that much. That would be great to get back on stage and do live shows. And hopefully, if I can work it out to get some shows together promoting the new album, I'd love to be able to do that. I guess the other thing too, to do with the studio, is have people come through the door out wearing masks and having to do all the things that we have to do protocol, with the hand sanitizer. I've got plexiglass set up in the control room to keep things separated. And you have to worry about keeping people safe. That'll be nice when that ends. I'm not sure that's going to happen very soon, but at some point, hopefully. The process of making music is, there again, that's a tough one because I would say most times I start with the music, where I'll have a riff or I'll have a chord thing that I really, really like. And I always find lyrics are the toughest part. I'll get a line or I'll get a verse, and then I get stumped. It's like, oh no, where do we go from here? But there again, there's no formula. It's just whatever hits me first. It could be, like I said, it could be a line. I'll work around that. But I would say usually musically, it's where I'll come up with some kind of riff that feels good to me, and then I'll take it from there. And then if I have a problem with it, I can't seem to finish it off to my liking, I might get a hold of somebody like Cyril Ross, say, what can you do with this? And he'll normally come up with something good. To do with Consider Me Undecided, that's what I didn't want. I didn't want the cookie cutter thing. That's why I sort of drew from my experience with all these different styles. And I'm happy with it, so that's good. Oh dear, my favorite song on the new album. I like them for different reasons. I'm going to say Moments is one of those, only because the sentiment, the idea of the song, the lyrics are very, There's certain songs that have a marriage, and with Moments, I find that the music and the lyrics work so well together. For me, it just feels really good. And there's some songs, Beatles were great for that. And the one that comes to mind is Penny Lane. Penny Lane, there was a fireman showing photographs. For some reason, the music and the lyrics work so well together. So Moments for that reason, because I just think there's a marriage. But there's some instrumentals on there. There's a chicken picking one called Nervous Breakdown. And for guitar players, they're going to like it. It's not that it's showing off, but it's showcasing what I can do on guitar. So I like that for that reason. And the one that I did with Kate Sir, a duet called One Word at a Time. It's almost like a Don Henley old style country tune. Absolutely love it. So there's 3 that would be at the top for me. Now that Moments is done and out on video, which is getting a few good views, which is really nice. I'm trying to think about what the second one could be, and it probably should be a vocal song. So there's one on the album called One Word at a Time that is a duet actually with Kate Sir. And it's talking how people basically need to start talking. And if we can just one word at a time get it back, you know, that's what we have to do. So I was really happy with the way that song turned out. So I'm thinking that might be the next video, just figure out how to do it in a real tasteful way. And that could be the next one.